everyone, just uploading a video. I'm I wouldn't say I'm a super experienced Magic the Gathering player, but I've been playing for about, I don't know, 8 years or so. So this is my Jeksai deck. I just want to share it with you. I think it's really fun to play. Um, the core of it is you play a lot of multicolored counter spells while protecting your token producing cards, which beat your opponent to death. It's not the only win condition. There are a few other win conditions in this deck, but it's a really fun deck, and I hope you enjoy it. There's a few decks like this currently in the game, but I feel like mine is slightly better than those which I've come across, just because there's a lot of mana you can gain from creating tokens from Kaikar. You can do a lot of one-shot hijinks with some of the other cards in the deck. It's really fun, so I'm just going to go over the deck list now. So you have Hero Precinct 1, goes really well with this deck because every card is a multicolored except this card. And as you can see, it creates a 1/1 token which just hits them in the face. It's quite easy to get on the board turn 1, and if you can protect it, this card is really good. I feel it's you've probably seen a lot of decks run this card. I think it's great. So we've got Dovin's Veto to protect it. Really good counter spell. It can't be countered. It's stupid. It's only silver rare, so it's great. We got Discovery, which is really good. Just lets you thin your deck out to get the cards that you want as you draw through cards, which is another part of the win condition, which I'm going to go over later. We got an Absorb, which helps you keep you alive, helps stabilize, also procs your Hero Precinct 1 and Kaikar, which we'll go into later. We got Dovin. I really like this Planeswalker. Lots of people say it's shit. I disagree. It creates tokens. It fishes 3 cards from your deck. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. It's not the best Planeswalker in the world, I admit that, but it's niche. It's got a niche place, just like any other Magic card in the game, you know. So we got Teferi, obviously really strong. Really strong control with his passive thing. That's ridiculous. You can ping cards back to your opponent's hand, and you can cast sorceries during your opponent's turn, and that part is really strong in this deck because you can do things like you can time wipe during your opponent's turn, you can Inspired Ultimatum during your opponent's turn, you can do Deafening Clarion during your opponent's turn, and that's just pretty gross. And you can do things like Deafening Clarion into expansion, or even time wipe into expansion, or even Inspired Ultimatum into into expansion, and that gives you, it gives you, like with that, it gives you 10 cards. We'll go into why that's really good later. So we got Ionize, nice counter to protect your cards. Also does some burn damage. It's alright. Saheeli Rai, more tokens, fantastic. Her -2 power isn't really used in this deck, but it doesn't really matter because she's pretty solid. I don't really need to protect her that much. Got Royal Sounds, which is one of the win conditions in this deck. The ultimate ability does a shit ton of burn damage to the face. If you can proc sort of Inspired Ultimatum with an expansion, and then you hit them in the face for like 13 or 20 points of damage, depending on how you play it. It's really strong. Let's see if we can pull it off. I win maybe 3 out of 10 of my games that way. So it's a nice win condition. It doesn't proc all the time, but it's a win condition nonetheless, and you can't really argue with that. So we got Deafening Clarion for board wipe, even lifelink. or with all your tokens, it can be really nice. Kaikar, again, more tokens. You can sack those spirits for mana, which is really nice for things like explosion, to then draw more cards. And he's got evasion. The tokens also have flying. It's pretty good, I feel. It's a fun card. You got Narset, who gives you card draw. She gives you sustain and sustenance. Gives you mana, and her ultimate is also a kind of win condition because you just ping things. You got Whirlwind of Thought, so every time you play a card, you draw a card, which is nice, which goes back to the other win conditions. You've got Time Wipe for a board wipe, and you can kind of return something which you want to protect back to your hand, so like a Kaikar or even a Hero Precinct 1, which is your token generation. Got Inspired Ultimatum, which heals you, does 5 damage to any target, and draws you 5 cards, which is it's not the best card for 7 mana, but it's nice in this deck because it kind of synergizes with the other win conditions. And back to Expansion and Explosion, both very nice cards. You can copy some of your dirty cards your opponent play for 2 mana. So if they play a really horrendous sorcery card for like 7 mana, you can copy it. It's really good. I think Expansion is probably better than Explosion, just because the sheer mana cost of Explosion is quite ridiculous. But nonetheless, I feel this card's really good. And then generic lands, we got some Hallowed Fountains, Steam Vents, Sacred Foundry, and we got Rorgrin Triome because we run all those colours, and I don't generally cycle it, but it's nice nonetheless. When you do need to cycle it. Anyway, so that's my deck. I'll just give you an overview. So it's mostly non-creature cards, but your permanents generally generate a lot of tokens. So I'm in plat at the moment. I'm not the best player, but we'll see how this game goes. I think the starting hand's okay. I mean, it would have been nicer to have lower cost cards, but we'll go with this. Nice. Okay. So we're probably going to play Saheeli turn 3, depending on what happens. If this is, I hate these decks at the moment. If this is the black one where you sack a lot of cards, it's going to be a bit messy. Alright, so we're going to play Hero Precinct 1 because it helps us get board dominance with a lot of tokens. He might remove it now. Oh.
No one has seen my face and lip. Let me pick your brain for a minute.
I don't know, guys. I'm probably going to get rid of this. Okay, cool. So I'm actually not going to play Saheeli. I'm going to play this because I can do trample and first strike onto that Shadow Mage. I don't want him to take all the cards from my hand, so I'm going to do that.
I lead the way, but my brother knows our path. Strike fear into the hearts of the wicked.
He's only got 3 cards in his hand. I've got hand control. Well, I mean, I got more cards in his hand. Look at that. See, I killed 2 of his cards. He didn't realise that I have first strike and trample, that's why that is really good. Okay, I'm going to play Whirlwind of Thought. I'm just going to do the same again.
Fear is a tool.
Normally, I use the other +1 just to cycle through my deck, but right now I can just press the aggression. I don't. I'm going to take 3 damage to the face. Actually, I can just. I know it has menace. I'm just thinking. I'm going to hold actually because I can remove it next time by blocking with more than 1. See, this is kind of how this deck works because it's a nice combo
You've
deck.
never
There's a
seen
lot of things
anything
proc
like
off each
this.
other. So I'm going to do this again. So now I can use
You will
her
not block
ultimate,
our noble
their
path.
ultimate next turn. If I want to. I'm probably not going to. I'm going to probably wait a few turns. Okay, I'm just going to block with all my tokens. They're expendable. They're free. Free bodies. They're great. They're great cards. Okay, I'm going to do this.
Fear is a tool. Use it.
Okay. I don't know what this guy's playing actually because I haven't seen that card around. This seems like a very strange deck. Okay, nice. Okay, so I'm going to first use the ultimate.
Ready, Will? Let us unleash our united strength.
Look, that's it. I've won now. You know he can't win. It's unless he plays something like ridiculous. I'm just going to go face because. Anyway, so that was just a brief demonstration of my deck. Thank you. I guess it could have gone a lot worse. I mean, it has gone a lot worse before. I like this card, just because that ability is ridiculous if you play some very, very dirty high mana cost cards. But anyway, yeah, thank you for watching and enjoy. Take care.